Today, we're talking about active versus passive stretching. What does it mean? Why is it important? Okay, so first of all, the difference between the two, which a lot of people get confused about. When we talk about passive stretching, we're talking about getting into a shape or a pose or an asana and just relaxing into the shape itself. And staying there quite some time. So in some methodologies, it might be, like 10 or 15 breaths. If you're talking about yin, then you might be doing 2 or more minutes, etc. So if I'm in, say, a forward fold, I'm going to get into the required shape. And maybe I'm asked to keep my legs straight and then relax my arms and the head and just stay there and breathe, right? Now, active stretching is when we're moving towards a shape, but we're engaging those same groups of muscles. So for a forward fold, that might look like this. So if the forward fold is opening up through the hamstrings, the back of the body, all the way to the back of the neck, the back of the head, then I want to keep all of that active. And so I'm going to press down into my heels, circle with my arms, wave here. I'm getting everything working. So there's this like pulsing, releasing, and then I'm going to come to a hold, which isn't going to be very long, but I'm going to stay active. So I'm still gently pressing my heels down into the floor. I can feel my hamstrings work. I can feel the back of the body works because I have my arms up. And so the whole back line has to work. And so I'm engaging at the same time I'm asking the body to lengthen in that direction. Now, why is it important to understand those two differences? So in passive stretching, it's useful for people who haven't done any movement at all, average office workers, or maybe somebody that only does some kind of movement practice, maybe once a week, and maybe they dip in and out of it, right? So making a shape and softening and relaxing into something is going to give them that first layer of noticing sensation, just feeling what's going on in the body. I wouldn't necessarily recommend staying there for a long time, like 2 or 3 minutes, but at least pausing for 5 breaths, 10 breaths, 15 breaths, something like that, coming out of it. But always making sure we're doing something within the practice that is going to engage those same muscles. So you might go between activating them in a forward bend would be like getting them to do a purvatasana, activating the back of the body, activating the glutes, the upper back, the hamstrings, right? And then maybe I go into a passive forward fold, right? This is why active stretching is, in my opinion, so much more valuable, because we're activating and elongating at the same time. We're having a dialogue. So what happens in the fascial connection is in the passive stretching, I'm elongating, and if I keep repeating that movement with no action in there, what happens is I lose that elasticity. I lose that ability for fluid to keep moving through the body on a regular basis, right? So that's when passive stretching on a regular basis, done in the same shapes over and over and over again, becomes detrimental long term. In the moment, it's probably not detrimental, but over and over and over again, that's when we get wear and tear on the same groups of internal connections, like the ligaments and the tendons, hips and the vertebrae, attachment to the hamstring, starts to get too much wear and tear and not enough engagement, right? So when I move into active stretching, I don't have to worry about that. I'm never concerned about getting to a final point in the shape, like how far can I go into my forward bend? It's about, can I keep playing with that relationship between being active and elongated, and then maybe I pause for 3 to 4 breaths and then come out of it and work in a different range of motion, right? So if you're not familiar with all of that, experiment with that. If you're a teacher and you're trying to bring that information into your classrooms, I hope that helped.